Hey guys, it's Dereka with Dereka's Designs, and today we're going to make this cute little no-sew Halloween wreath attachment. Grab your glue guns and let's get started. We're back. Now this little guy, she is just a fun project that I enjoyed. I wanted to make a candy corn that wasn't the traditional colors. And when I started using fabrics, I thought, oh, it just looks like every other candy corn out there. But then I thought, well, I have lots of colors of glittered foam. And y'all know how much I love glittered foam. I mean, you can use it almost like a fabric. It is so cute, but she's just fun. And think about all the different colors and things, and you can add more to her. I just liked it. This cute little witch hat can be used for so many different projects. It's just, like I said, I just enjoy making these cute little fun ones like this. It's kind of a, it's not sewn. It's not a huge pattern. It's not elaborate and crazy. It's just pretty dang basic, right? So sometimes you just want something that you can go in your craft room and make and just have some fun with it. All right, so first things first. Not grab a pipe cleaner, so we'll do that. We'll just, okay, we have every color but black, so we'll just do green. Why not? Oh, you know what? I forgot about this. You can't put the pipe cleaner in here because you will see the lump. That's why I was just looking at this one. I didn't put one in there. So what I would do is I would take a piece of the scrap black felt. I would hot glue it over this pipe cleaner right here so that it would hold it like that. Because if you poke it through, you're going to see it, and that would be ugly. So that's why I didn't do a pipe cleaner. Now I remember. So we'll have to put a couple of those on there. I'm going to take those out so I remember. So this is a cute one. I mean, like I said, cute and simple. We are going to put our colors, whatever colors you choose. I got all of these colors at Hobby Lobby over the years. I don't know what they still have. I know the purple is definitely a Hobby Lobby color. I know the lime green is. The orange, I don't know about the orange. I'm trying to remember if I've seen the orange. I don't think I have. Okay, so this is foam. So you guys know, once you add hot glue to it, it becomes very malleable. It comes like, think about like bubble gum almost. It gets that very gooey, gummy feeling to it. So what I'm gonna do, and then let's see, let's just do a line here, a line on the purple and a line on the green. And I'm gonna put this backing on there like that. Basically, so I know it's centered. Then I'm gonna flip it over, because you know what? When I cut these out, I didn't cut them in perfect lines. But because it's malleable and because I just added hot glue to it, you can very easily walk them together with your fingers to hide any kind of gap right there. And so that gap, that like right here, you can, maybe you can see on this one. We'll get a little closer. When I put this together, there's a gap. See in that center right there? There's a little bitty gap, and you're gonna be able to see the white coming through. So what I'm gonna do, the same thing. I'm gonna put glue back there and glue right there. I'm gonna take this orange one, I'm gonna put it on there, kind of get it to where I want it. And then I'm just going to I'm gonna use my fingers to kind of push it together. Now, if it's a big gap, you might need to get your scissors out and trim it just a little bit. But see on her, I didn't use trim between the colors. And it actually looked really, I have one where I did use trim. It looks really weird. So I'm just using my fingers to kind of slide it forward. And the hot glue is going to kind of melt that foam and keep it all stuck together like that. So what you end up with are there are no gaps. I mean, they look like they've been seamed together. I don't know a better word for that. So now, and we're not using any kind of polyfill or quilt batting for this one. There's no point. You can, but I've never tried. No, you can't. Don't try to stuff a glitter foam. I'm just going to change my mind completely there. You cannot. So now I'm going to put a little extra glue on the orange one. You can probably reach in here, just put a little line of glue. Little line of glue over here. You don't need, this doesn't need to be glued, like super glued down. but you just want to make sure you get all the way around the edges. And don't put big beads because remember, it melts your foam. So just like that. There you go. And then we're going to flip it over and do all the same thing that we're used to doing, like that. See? I mean, it looks perfect. Now I got to go out again. Sorry. So everything looks really good. There are no gaps. There's no, you cannot see the whiteboard between them. And the reason is it didn't look, it looked really, I don't know where it's at, but I have the one where I put a, actually I put a black, is it rickrack between the pieces? It looked ridiculous. It was dumb. So that's from me. Don't use that idea. It looks dumb. Okay. So now now these, you know, when you're trying to fold the foam over here, it's going to take a minute. Now you can actually cut this and trim this if you don't mind the white. You would just be able to see a little bit of the white on the edges here. You can do that. I've seen that, you know, it's not a big deal, but when I look in a wreath, especially, I kind of just want to see, you know, the colors flowing through. So you can cut this foam off, but I don't know. I wouldn't. So I'm just doing these centerpieces because they're nice and straight and easy. And over here, I'm going to put the glue on the foam itself. It kind of heats up the foam, kind of makes it a little gooey, and that makes it easier to pull it over and hold it, to be honest. So, or TBH, as my daughter tells me all the time. TBH, Mom. TBH. I'm like, what? Why are we speaking in acronyms? Okay, I am finally out of the world of acronyms with my military husband. Like now suddenly I am in acronym land with my kid. So, geez. It's so funny. She can see the little like cogs in my brain working when she throws an acronym at me, and I'm just like, what? She's like, come on, Mom. TBH. I don't know. It's the new shorthand is basically what I'm getting at. You know, if you text people, you just send out letters, not full words. And you know what? That's great. As long as they all know. I mean, I come from the land of LOL. You know, all of us over the age of 40, we know what LOL means. LMAO. We know those things, but the rest of it, holy moly! I need like a little dictionary I can carry around with me. Okay, I'm just holding it. The Hobby Lobby foam is much easier to, it's much thinner, this glittered foam. It's much thinner and it's actually much easier to, you know, hold on this. These other foams, honestly, I've gotten some off Amazon, some from Michael's, some from Claudia. So they seem to be a little bit thicker. But as long as you put some hot glue on them, they still get all melty. Oh, I forgot to grab glue sticks. Uh-oh. Here we go. One last glue stick. Go grab some more. All right, so I'm just going all the way around. I know it's kind of a pain, but you just got to hold it with your fingers. Definitely be using your detail tip glue gun. You don't want hot glue seeping out of these every single time you go to press these down. You don't want to get burned by a little blob of hot glue. Okay, so now we're just going to snip these off around the edges because, well, just because I'm OCD and I do it all the time anyway. All right, so now we turn them around. Look how cute it is. I mean, I love the color combination. It's different. And that looks a little better if I do it that way. I wish the orange was a little bit brighter. It's more of a pastel orange. I wish it was more of a Halloween, like super bright orange, kind of like this purple is, but you know, you get what you get. Beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, so we're gonna set that aside so that whole thing cools, and we're just gonna really quickly do our hat. And you need to decide which way you want your hat to face. I think I have her facing this way. Now, again, because I didn't use polyfill or quilt batting on this one, I didn't bother to use it on this either. You can, if you want the hat to be a little more 3D, you absolutely can. But I'm not going to. This is just a cute, fun, very quick very easy. Once you get the pieces cut out, it all just kind of falls together. Super, super easy thing to do. Now, you guys know, wherever there's a curve inside curve, you're going to have to throw some slits in there to make it go around that curve. So I'm not really measuring. I'm just kind of thinking I'm probably going to need 3 there. I know I'm going to need 1 here on these. So I did 1 on there. So if we need more, we could always add more, but those are the bare minimums. Okay. And then we just do the exact same thing we always do. We cover it. Seems like this is 90% of no-sew attachments is just this right here. Gluing, stretching felts or fabrics around the corners. But you know, that's how you get the look you want. So now this hat, you can tell it's not cut in a perfect nice curved line. It's all, I did that on purpose so that when you pull the felt over, it doesn't just make a nice perfect hat. It's kind of, I don't know if you can kind of see it on this one. See how it's got edges and corners, and it just looks, it's not perfect. I like that. I don't know, you guys know I just try things. There's, I mean, little witch hat doesn't need to be a perfect, straight, smooth line. You can make it a little edgy. And but to get that effect, though, I'm kind of tugging on the felt just a little bit to make sure it gets into all those little crevices, and just for fun. And you can see it on this side. See how it's got little edges cut. Oh. The actual candy corn is so smooth. I just felt like it needed some little hat. You just have a little more fun with it. Uh-oh, barely left myself enough felt here. That's all right. It's gonna be the back of the hat, so I don't really care too much. Oops, this guy's coming out. Okay, and where I cut these slits right here, I'm just gonna make one circle of glue. I'm gonna grab one and pull it up, grab the other one, pull it up. Probably leave some glue there, but that's okay. That way it's, and then we have this, oops, hold that one, it wants to come undone. Hold them up, pull them up. Just have to hold them for a second. Really let that glue cool off. Yeah, the glue string's out of everything. And then, around these little edges here are always the worst because it's super small. So I just kind of grab it and pinch it with my fingers, and then I go back and trim it. Really no easy way to do it. Because we're going to glue this to the top of her head. We don't want big, bulky pieces of felt causing the hat to kind of lay, you know, sideways or, you know, not even. So, and then trim this off. I don't know if I glued this or not, but it wants to come back up again. There we go. I have got to get some more scissors. These poor things. I probably had them for 6-7 years. It is time. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want it to where when you glue it to the top of the candy corn, it's not going to sit, you know, up uneven. Okay. Alrighty. So now the legs and the arms, you can just do one layer of felt. I do 2 and glue them together. I mean, I guess it's because with the way we do our spiders for so many years, the little boots on there, we've always done 2 and glued them together. It truly, 1 actually did just fine. Oops, gotta pull it off of there. So I like to use my my cutting mat, and I put the boots on the same line, kind of how I want them to go. Then I set this on here and I make sure the bottom of this is following a line. So everything is kind of straight. Because you're a little bit far apart. In just a bit. Oops. And then I just eyeball it. Like there's no, for me, it's not about being perfect. They just need to be somewhat close. So we're gonna throw some glue on here. Throw some glue on here. Make sure they don't move. We'll take this and we'll set it right back down on it. Just like that. And just using your cutting mat just helps you, just make sure things are just in a straight. Now they can be a little bit off, but if they're really far off, that might be the first thing people notice. People like me, I am the worst when it comes to seeing like a picture that's hanging wrong or something. Oh my God, it drives me insane. Okay, so the arms look okay to me. I'm going to just throw some glue on there. Once again, just set this on there, just like that. Okay, so we'll let that cool off over there. So now we're gonna, this is a piece of 1-inch black satin ribbon. You can just use felt. You can just use another color felt if you want. The satin, even though they're both black, the satin looks different than the felt. So I use it a lot when I'm doing these little hat belt. What do you call this? What is this thing on the hat called? I tried to think about it the other day. I'm like, it's not a, now this is a buckle, obviously, but what is this part that goes around the hat? They call it still call it a belt? Crazy things, I don't know. Crazy things I don't know, and I will never remember to look it up. So I will just keep calling it a hat belt. I don't know what the word is. One day it will kill me. One day I'll be like, okay, I got to figure out what this thing is called. But right now, I don't like the way this little lump right here is not. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put that little buckle. And this is just more of the purple. You can do any color though. If you want to make it gold, if you want to, I don't care, just whatever. There's so many different ways to make this cute. So there's the little hat. I mean, not much to it. And you can put this hat on anything. Like guys, if you are making, I'm trying to think of one. If you are making any of our no-sew attachments, that is a little character, a little animal. Say it's the ant from the picnic barbecue. Throw a hat on it. Make it a Halloween ant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy. You can look back at all of our attachments, and if there is one that is just a little creature, what about the reindeer? Throw a little witch hat in front of those antlers, and don't put the Christmas lights and all that stuff on. And do it and give it a little Halloween pumpkin or something to hold. Then you have a Halloween reindeer. Weird, I know. Nobody would do that, but it's just an example. Have fun with it, is what I'm getting at. All right, so now it's important that when you put this hat on here, it is kind of cut to go kind of at an angle. It's not a straight up and down. You don't want to see the orange through like that. So I use the, I put the hat kind of a little bit of an angle like this so that it's covering up all the orange. Okay, does that make sense? You don't want to see orange on either side, and it needs to go at an angle because, it just does. That's just a rule, okay? I've just made up that rule. And I'm going to throw some glue on this side. And then we're just going to put our hat right back on there. I'm going to look at it. I don't see orange on either side. I'm going to clamp these with our little clamps just because. Keep our hat on there because it'll break off really easy. The little arms and stuff will make it really easy when you want to ship it because, they're not going to break. But that little hat, that'll be a tough one. Alrighty. So I have a purple glitter spider. I'm pretty sure this came from Dollar Tree last year. I'm sure you can get little glitter spiders just about anywhere. They're not, for right now, if you're watching this video, They're not in the stores right now, but eventually they will be. I know you can get little packages of glitter spiders at all of the craft stores. This one, I mean, just find some. You don't have to do the spiders though if you don't want it. You can put a string from this hat and then have a little spider hanging down if you want. And like maybe one of those little ring spiders, they're smaller and they're really thin. That would look cute hanging here, and it wouldn't be this one would be too bulky to try to hang, but the smaller ones would be cute. And then we have a black one down here. These are the Walmart glitter spiders, which I've used for every year. I literally, every Halloween, I walk into Walmart, and when I see that they have a nice full rack with like 20 of these things, packages of these lined up, I grab the entire thing and I put it in the cart. So I use a lot of these spiders. So it's just, they're great. They're very solid. They're not chintzy and thin. And you can glue them onto anything. I love them. They also have a furry fuzzy one too. It's gray. It has gray ones and black ones in the package. Now I only saw those a couple of years and then they stopped. So I don't know if they're making those anymore, but I really like those too. Okay, we got our spiders on. We got these little eyes. Now guys, I did not resin these eyes. I didn't feel a need to. This thing is not water resistant itself. So, you know, resining the eyes on this probably isn't going to do you a whole lot of good because the foam, none of it is water resistant, but you can. I'm pretty sure I included the file. I'll double check, make sure I do include the file. But you don't have to always resin these eyes. Like as long as water is not going to splash on this, it's going to be fine. Now we will have some available for sale with resin on them, but if you wanted to just print them out and you didn't want to do the resin part, these right here are not resined. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. These are not resined. They're just the way they are, but somebody who buys something like this is not going to put it out in the weather, I wouldn't think. So it's up to you though. If you are a resin god, then by goodness, just do it. All right, so again, black paint pen. You know I love my black paint pen. These eyes are just a slightest bit crooked, so I see now that they're a little crooked, but you know what? We're going to go with it because I'm not about perfection here. Now, the mouth is going to be very, very light. It is not going to be like, look at this one. Look how it's there, but it's not really dark. And again, we're going to go with our cute little squiggle line because we like it and it makes her look cute. Honestly, it kind of makes her look like a frog, but we're not going to talk about that. If you just looked at the green part, you would think that was a frog. But hey, frog, candy corn, it's okay. It's funny how eyes and things like that can change the look of something. Now, I did these spread out weird looking lashes on this one, and I don't know what I was thinking, but we're going to make these much more cute. We're going to put a line in the center, and we're going to go off of that same starting point, and then we're going to go, and we're going to put 4 of these on. No, we're going to do 5 of those, like that. So now, see that it's coming, well, we can't really see because the glitter, it's just coming off of the same, instead of being like a ladder rungs, like this one looks like ladder rungs, this one, they're coming off of the same spot. They just need to be darker. I have different paint pens. Some of them are much darker than the others. So this one looks like I'm going to have to double and triple it up. I don't know. It just looks weird. It looks like a little sea anemone coming off of her eye, but that's okay. If you want to add little false eyelashes, you by all means just glue them onto the eye. They're fine. But that's it, guys. Those are our cute little no-sew Halloween, just fun. Just something that is just fun. This doesn't require a lot of knowledge. It doesn't require sewing. It doesn't require polyfill. It doesn't, you know, it's just a couple pieces of foam sheets and some foam board and you're good to go. Now don't forget, you want to, oh look, I have a piece of this. I'm gonna use this. You gotta put something, if it's gonna be used as a wreath attachment, you gotta have something on the back that they can, you know, attach it with. Now you can put a whole sheet back here if you want to, and then run the pipe cleaner through it. Absolutely, I mean, that's perfectly acceptable. These are a little long. But I'm just gonna do it this way because we have this little scrap here. You're gonna take a tab of felt. This I'm using foam. Now the foam isn't gonna be super, super strong, right? But this is so lightweight. Unless they pull these pipe cleaners really hard, it's not going anywhere. Now, but they could pull it and pull it off. So maybe I should recommend definitely use felt. But for the moment, I'm just going to use this because it's what I have and it's sitting here. And you know what? Sometimes crafting, you just have to use what you have in front of you. I spend all day looking for something and just use what's sitting there. So we're just going to let those kind of, there, just like that. So now at least they have something to grab onto. You can cover it with felt later if you want, or just use felt in general because that's probably not the best advice I've ever given you, but okay, it is what it is. But see how cute they are? They're really good. They're big size. I feel like these would be really cute in a wreath just because of the big eyes and the funny little face. So I hope you guys make these and I hope you enjoy them. And that is it for today. Thanks. You have a good day.